Hi Flosstube, it's Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner. Sorry it's been a while for an update. My life's been kind of crazy. I was gonna video an update at the end of January, but I had a doctor's appointment on the day I planned on doing my update, and I got some not great news at the doctor, and basically since then I've been dealing with a lot of emotional, just dealing with that emotionally. It's not anything that's the end of the world, but it's been difficult. And so I haven't felt up to doing an update video, and I've also been busy. It was Valentine's, and I had Valentine's with my Valentine, and those are the nail dyeing flowers back there from him. He's so sweet. And then I had family from out of the country come and visit, and so I spent a lot of time with them. I have done a lot of stitching. I have a lot to show you. Here is the pile. So, lots of things. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that. As a disclaimer, I'm behind on every sal that I am involved in because, I don't know, I just am. I am. And if you remember, I told you guys about this rotation system that I came up with. I still really like this idea. However, it is being abandoned because this is the year of the sal, I believe. Katie talked about it in her video. I've mentioned it on various groups, cross-stitching groups, several times this month. There's just so many beautiful sals out there, and I love them all. And when I was trying to stitch, I'd run out of time that I had allocated myself. Like, my other category that I put 20 hours for was all taken up by categories that had already filled up because of sals. So, while I really like this idea, and I hope in future years to return to it, this year it's being abandoned because I'm just going to stitch on what I want to stitch on and what calls to me. And that's going to be that. I really love I told you guys the Stitch What's, which is like Hogwarts divided into houses, and there's weekly challenges and monthly challenges and classes and things like that. And I am really, really enjoying that. It's motivated me to stitch more than I have in a while. And so my focus is going to be all of those challenges, and my plan is to try to stick as many of my current sals into each challenge as possible, and from there next fit in things that are already existing whips, and if nothing can fit in there, do a new start. But like this month's designer focus is Joan Elliott, and I don't think I actually own any Joan Elliott's. And I'm not sure that I want to purchase one because I am way over my Stitch from Stash budget, and it is going to take a lot of finishes for me to get back into the positives by the end of this challenge. So, there's a freebie out there, and I do think she's beautiful, so I may do that, but I'm undecided. Anyway, so let's get to the whips. First up is the Fabulous Woman in History. I completed January's, but I have not started at all on February or March. Okay, one thing I want to say, for anyone who's working on this, do you know why the little name banner thing for Virginia Woolf is a different color? Like why it's blue and all the others are this color? Like, I don't know whether I want to stitch that blue. Like, was it a mistake? Or, because all 6 of the, well, I guess 5. All 5 of the others that have been released so far are this color. And I just don't want it to, like, look weird or have to frog it later so I can put it back in this color. So, if anyone knows the answer to that, if you could leave me an answer in the comments, I'd really appreciate that, because I'm hecka confused. Okay, next up is my very meager start on the linens and threads mystery. Took me forever to, 1, pick a fabric, because it's so long. I was running into trouble finding anything long enough. But 2, also pick a colorway. I was trying to decide, did I want to do like a DMC? Did I want to do variegated? Did I want to do multiples? Did I want to change every month? Like, it's a lot to decide. I'm definitely not one of those people that likes to make those kind of decisions for myself. I don't change up my patterns or colors, because I'm just not, I don't see the colors that way. And so I spent weeks trying to decide what to do. And I'm still not fully decided that I am going to stick to my decision, because there's so many beautiful colorways out there. But for now, I have this small start. There's the camera. So, barely anything. And I picked, it's called Twilight Dreams by Thread Pickers, and that's what it looks like. I just think that's really beautiful. I think it suits the fabric. I think there's enough variegation in it that to keep it interesting. I'm trying to decide if I wanted to make the animals, like the birds, a different color, like maybe a solid color. I'm still trying to decide. Any suggestions are appreciated. Next up, I have a very small start on the Lakeside Needlework Under the Sea. So, barely anything, but I think these ones are so cute, and I thought this blue fabric would be like water. So, a very, very small start on that. Next is Under the Sea Fantasy, and I only just started this, and I've only put in like 50 stitches, but I chose this nice sparkly fabric, and I think that's pretty. So I put in literally a straight line right there, 50 stitches across. I'm probably going to, with this one, focus on doing all the border and the inner border, and maybe next year doing 1 character a month on this. That might be what happens with this, but who knows? Who knows? I change my mind all the time. Next up is Happily Ever After by Frosted Pumpkin, and this is where I'm at on that. I do want to do all the border before I do any of the characters, because I think the boxes are really small, and so once I finish, especially those 2 months, right? So once I finish up the border, it should be really quick to just quickly stitch those up. So I put in 2,000 stitches on this last month, and yeah. I'm also trying to listen to the books, if it's a book, while stitching on it. So like last month I listened to Heidi while stitching. The other 2 haven't really been stories that are long enough to listen to, just like quick reads. Like the 3 Billy Goats Gruff. That's a quick read. And then I forget what that poem was for the first one, but I read that online really fast. So, next up is Stitch Rovia's Quotes to Live By. And I've done all the border in this green one. I think it's about 200 to 300 stitches so far. So, there's a lot to do to catch up on this one, and I still have to buy March's pattern. But I really love this. I collect quotes. I have a little quote book that I write quotes down in. And I love quotes, and I love that this is going to a charity. All the proceeds from it. I think that's really important that you give back to community and help others out where you can. And so I'm really excited to be participating in this. I do have a couple other SALs, but they aren't started yet. So I'll talk about those after I finish my WIP updates here. Next, I put in a few stitches, not many, on this Brooks Books, Katie Kitty, or whatever she calls herself. I really wanted to finish this. This whole series is going a lot slower than I wanted it to. But I get distracted by all the other things I'm involved in, but they're so cute. But, yeah, so I'm hoping maybe to have this finished by the end of the month, so at least I can have one done, right, guys? Next, for the Christmas all year long, I worked on filling in all the insides on Merry and Bright. I guess I have a few over on this side. From Frosted Pumpkin. I really like this one. I think it's super cute. So this is my Christmas all the year long piece that I'll be working on until it's finished. And I plan on working those on the 25th of each month. Next, I finished all the white across. Woo. That was like 2,100 or something like that. Stitches of white. But it was a nice brainless thing to do. So I finished that at the end of January, and I haven't worked on it since because I just haven't had time. I've been working on so many other things. This is Celtic Winter. I did a color change, so this is part of the dress. It's in blue, not black. I don't know if you can see that that's blue. I know it looks black, but it's at like $9.39 or something like that. And I was trying to work on this for Whimsical Winter a little bit each month, but I didn't manage to stitch on it at all in February. This is just from January, like the last day of January, something like that. So I definitely need to put in some time on this because I want to work on some of each month, work on the Celtic season that's for that month. And I know this month has both winter and spring, so I want to put in at least 100 stitches on both of those if I can, 50 to 100, just so I'm making progress on it. Next up, I started, I grabbed two. Next up, I started Snow White for Brooks Books Princess series. I just put in a little bit. I needed a new start. Might have been the 17th or something like that for the new starts. So there wasn't a lot done on it. I don't know when I'm going to be able to stitch all these princesses. They're so beautiful, but I have so many projects. So there's that one. Next is a project that I'm kind of a little excited about. It's the U.S. Presidents by Clouds Factory. And I figured out that if I do one a month, I think starting next month or even this month, one president a month, that by the time I finish all the way, we should be at the election for the next, it'll be 4 years, November, I think. So if I do one a month, it's like a countdown to the next election, which I'm kind of super into politics, like in a nerdy way. My boyfriend and I both are. We talk about it way too much. But that kind of really excited me, that it's like a countdown in cross stitch for presidents. And I want to like read a book or at least read the Wikipedia page for each of the presidents as I stitch it for that month. So first up, of course, will be George Washington and so on and so forth. And so I hope to really make this a priority. I have to like tell myself, Kate, make this a priority. Don't back burner this. And each of the characters are pretty small, so I mean, it should be doable. So this is a 4 years from now finish goal. And I just worked on some of the border. I needed a new start for one of the satin door points things. So that's that one. Next up, this monster of a project. This is a Heaven and Earth design. It's Christmas mailbox. I wish I had a picture here to show you. But basically, the whole top row of pages is the same color. Like, just one color. I don't even have to look at the pattern, usually. It's this color. So, I've never stitched diagonally before, but I was asking on the Heaven and Earth design group. I was like, guys, what can I do to make this more interesting? Because it's killing me. And I love the design, just not the fact that the entire top row of pages is the same color. So someone suggested I stitch diagonally. Now, I'm not sure that I'm going to do that when I get to the other colors, because that might confuse me. I don't see things like diagonally. But until I get to the other colors, I can stitch all that main color in diagonal, and I'm actually finding that pretty fun and easy. And I've been stitching this without a Q-snap or without a hoop and just doing the whole, like, you know, when you stick the needle in, like, at the top and bring it back up at the bottom and, you know, like that. I don't have actually thread on here, but I'm trying to show you guys what I mean. Oh boy, it's a Friday, guys, after a long work week, so bear with me. Next up is a new start. It's Happy Halloween by Satsuma Street. And that was the designer of the month for the Stitch What's or the Cross Stitch It's Fun group. And I needed to get 500 stitches in. I didn't have a Satsuma Street before, never done one. But this one looked really cute. And I don't have a picture. I never have pictures. I'm so sorry, guys. And I don't know how to edit videos, so I'm a mess. But, so I did all this, and the camera's over on this side, Kate. I did all this like blocking out. So each block I feel is going to be almost like a mini finish for me. And this coloring in here, I didn't actually do. My sister Jo, she is 22 maybe. She came and visited over the weekend and she saw me cross stitching and she wanted to cross stitch. So I pulled this out and I let her do it, and I had to pull out a couple rows because she wasn't crossing all the X's in the same direction on one of the rows. And I saw that after the second line of pink, and I told her, and so she did do that afterwards, and she did a really great job, and I'm really proud of her. But yeah, I wanted all the X's in the same direction, so after she left, I took them out. I mean, not took out all the work she did, just the row that wasn't in the right direction. And so yeah, I think this is a really cute piece, and I look forward to working on it some more. Next up, oh boy. Okay, this is 4 pieces in one. It is, I don't know if you guys have seen the Heaven and Earth, like, basically the like, Hogwarts houses, but it's, like, cunning and loyalty and bravery and, wisdom is what the patterns are called. Well, I bought the minis of each of them, and I'm stitching them all on the same piece of fabric on, like, the place they would be on the Hogwarts crest. And so, one week in Cross Stitch It's Fun, we needed 7 new starts, and so I squeezed in 3 of them. I'd already started the Gryffindor one, but here it is. Ooh, you can see big piece of fabric. And so this is the bit of the Gryffindor one, Mini Bravery, that I'd already started. Then over here is the Slytherin part, Cunning. Below Slytherin, on the Hogwarts crest, is Ravenclaw, and so that's Wisdom. And below Gryffindor is Hufflepuff, and that's Loyalty. So, I'm okay, I have a potentially really bad idea for this project. I want to extreme cross stitch all 4 at the same time. So I want to do all the black on all 4 of the patterns and then move on to the next color. I even created a spreadsheet telling me which patterns each of the colors appear on. Like, this could go really badly, but I'm really excited about it because I don't even normally cross country. So, I was like, you know what? Let's do it and let's take it to the next level because I'm crazy like that. So I'm really excited about that. So those are the pieces I worked on this month, and I did work on another piece, and I have a finish. The Country Cottage Needlework February. And I haven't yet decided how I'm going to finish all of these. So I'll iron it and put it in the box with the January one. Sometimes I think maybe I'll use my quilting skills and I'll make like a wall hanging with like three months across, 4 months down, that type of thing. Sometimes I think I'll make the flat fold. Sometimes I think I'll make the cubes, the no-sew cubes. Sometimes I think I'll make each one into its own individual wall hanging and then flip it out every month. So what I plan on doing with them really varies from moment to moment. And if you have any thoughts and opinions on that, I'd love to hear them. But that's where that's at. So I have 1, 2, 3 planned new starts for the next month. First off is the March one. Sorry for the glare. I hope you can see that. I would say of all of the houses in this series, or the cottages, this is probably my least favorite one. I love green, but not this shade of green. And I don't know, it just doesn't really call to me that much, but like, I'm really looking forward to the April one. I think it's pretty, but March comes before April and I need to finish it. So I hope to finish this entire one this month. So add that to the list of sals. Even though it's not an ongoing sal right now, it's like my own personal sal, so there's that. The next one I plan on starting, this isn't a color picture, but it's black and white. It's the Granny is No Square sal. Only 1 month has been released, so if I start it, I can potentially stay caught up, which is like super exciting. I'm just going to stitch it on this super cheap MCG textile. I know a lot of people hate this, but I don't really have an issue with it. It's a full coverage, and this one, I was also having trouble. It's 16 by 16 on this count is the, like the actual stitch size. And so, I had some fabric that was prettier, but just like, it would be 18 inches, and I was like, 1 inch on the border is cutting it a little too close, girl. So, I hope to maybe start this weekend or next week. The next part is released on the 15th. But as someone who crochets granny squares and does quilts like with blocks and stuff like this and does cross stitch, this one really appealed to me and I'm super excited to work on it. The next one that I will be starting after I finish this video, actually, is the Haid Mystery Sal. And I've been wanting to start this, well, I mean, since before it was released, but I've been wanting to work on it all week. But I had another doctor's appointment yesterday, and my boyfriend's been really sweet and supportive, and has spent a lot of time with me this last week because I basically had an emotional meltdown after the first appointment, and he doesn't want that to happen again. So, like, Wednesday night, I texted him a reminder that I had the doctor's appointment, and he came by and took me to dinner, and then last night he took me out to dinner again because one of the things I was worried about was possibly a lump in my breast, and the doctor didn't find one. So that was a celebratory dinner, but that isn't even what the issue is right now. And so celebrating that wasn't there, but ignoring the fact that I have 4 more doctor's appointments this month and kind of super freaked out about them. I have to have an endometrial biopsy on the 20th. Not looking forward to that. So I did buy the True Colors, and okay, I'm not gonna lie, guys. This is not the color that I thought it was from the pictures. I don't know why, but I thought I saw like some greens or stuff in the pictures. I still think this is really beautiful, and I think it will suit the pattern. It's just that moment where you open it up and you're like, oh, this is nice, but it's not what I thought it was going to be. And so part of me, like, I was debating this or the, like, French country mocha, I think is the other color I was debating. And I went with this because I believe Bob dyed them. And, you know, so I wanted to do the Haid Sal on Haid fabric. And I'm still excited about that. It's 18 count, and I'm having a little bit trouble with my eyesight recently, which is why I didn't go with, like, 28 count